Plan to introduce legislation next session to regulate fake guns.
The plan is to prevent tragedies from happening when toy guns are mistaken for the real thing. And 23 ABC's Carlos Correa is in our studio now with more on this proposed legislation. Carlos?
Jackie and Todd, lawmakers are pushing for imitation or copycat firearms like paintball, airsoft, and BB guns to be painted bright colors to prevent accidental shootings. But law enforcement says the plan would cause more problems. Toy guns are not included in the California legal definition of imitation weapons, but lawmakers are working to change that after a 13-year-old boy was accidentally shot for carrying an airsoft gun.
I don't want to see families lose loved ones. I don't want to see law enforcement officers put in positions like this in the future. So if reasonable steps to eliminate that potential, or at least reduce it, can be implemented through good law, then I believe it makes sense.
The goal of the legislation is to prevent tragedies from happening when toy guns look like the real thing and are pointed at law enforcement.
Probably the most common illegal use of a firearm is armed robbery. If you commit an armed robbery, the very intent is to instill an element of force or fear in your victim so they give property, their property or that property which is in their control, to the person committing the crime.
Lawmakers say painting toy guns will fix the confusion, but the Kern County Sheriff says nothing will change as officers are still put in a threatening position.
Law enforcement officers confronted with a split-second decision will, with the new law, might put them in a position of it looks like a replica gun, but it's not. And so it really doesn't solve the issue.
The sheriff says the proposed plan might even make things more difficult for deputies on patrol who may come across a replica.
The answer to the question really is parents shouldn't buy their children guns that look like they're real guns. Manufacturers shouldn't manufacture plastic and make-believe guns that look like real guns.
The plan is being reintroduced from a measure written in 2011. There was a similar bill presented before, but it failed passage in an assembly committee. I'm Carlos Correa, 23 ABC.